Some cases seem destined to remain unsolved, especially when powerful organizations may be involved. Tonight, we explore unsettling events that, according to some theories, were deliberately kept from the public eye. Tonight, we declassify a file that officially doesn't exist. The file on Listening Post Echo 7. The year is 1983. Deep in the barren expanse of the Nevada Test and Training Range, a place the maps call empty, sits a concrete tooth jutting from the desert floor. This is Echo 7. Its official purpose: deep space radio telemetry. A listening ear pointed at the heavens, manned by a skeleton crew of 4 Air Force specialists. 4 souls, 100 miles from anything. Inside, the air is cold, recycled, and tastes of ozone from the humming server racks. This is the last known footage from inside the station, recorded on a standard issue security camera. The story goes that the footage you're about to see was recovered from a damaged tape reel, one that was allegedly marked for incineration. For 6 months, their lives were a metronome of routine. Shift changes, systems checks, coffee brewed from filtered water. The log entries are meticulous and mind-numbingly dull. Then, on October 19th at 02:17 Zulu time, the metronome breaks. The primary array picks up a signal. It's not from deep space. According to the logs, it came from below. The signal is non-repeating and defies all known forms of transmission. It sounds less like a message and more like something biological, something in pain. Audio analysts have spent decades trying to decode this. They concluded it isn't a code, it's something else entirely. The next log entry is from the station commander, Master Sergeant Thorne. He notes the signal's impossible origin and describes a sudden drop in ambient temperature inside the sealed facility. This is security footage from the main comms room, time-stamped Yo 3.45. Specialist Miller, the youngest of the crew, is seen staring at a bank of dead monitors. He stands motionless for 17 minutes. When he finally turns, his face is slack, his eyes unfocused. He doesn't respond when Specialist Jensen enters the room. He just walks out, brushing past him as if he weren't there. The official incident report would later attribute this behavior to acute stress and isolation. But this is just the beginning. At 4:30 a.m., Sergeant Thorne logs that the strange signal has stopped, but it's been replaced by something else. A faint, rhythmic tapping sound. It's coming from inside the walls of the bunker. This is the final audio log from Specialist Ortega, the station's engineer. He's attempting to triangulate the source of the tapping. Listen closely to what he says just before the tape cuts out. It's not an echo. The timing is wrong. It feels like a response. It's in the ventilation shaft. Wait, there's something. It smells like burnt sugar. And, oh God, it's not. Static hiss. Specialist Ortega was never seen or heard from again. He is the first to vanish. Panic sets in. Thorne's next log is frantic. He's locked down the facility. He reports that the tapping has stopped, but now the lights are flickering in long, irregular patterns. He tries to use the emergency radio, but the only thing he gets is a feedback loop. It's playing back his own voice, distorted and layered with a faint, whispering sound. Security footage from outside the server room. We see Jensen trying to force open a door. Behind him, down the hall, a shadow detaches from the deeper darkness. It's tall, impossibly thin. With 2 men unaccounted for, the official timeline of events becomes unclear. What follows has allegedly been pieced together from what some claim is the recovery team's unofficial report. For 36 hours, Echo 7 is silent. A rapid response team is dispatched from Area 51, less than 70 miles away. They arrive to find the main blast door ajar. The protocol for an open door at a secure facility is clear. Expect hostiles. But there is no one. The only sound is the persistent, low hum of the station's life support. According to the narrative, the entrance was then filled with concrete, buried beneath tons of rock and sand. It seemingly vanished from public maps, as if it never existed. But what about the signal? The thing that came from below? The thing that whispered back on the radio? What did it want? And what happened to the 4 men who were unfortunate enough to hear it? An unverified story claims a source, allegedly one of the original recovery team members, spoke out before their passing. This source claimed the air didn't just smell sweet, they said it felt watchful. A watchful building, a signal from the earth, and a photograph of the impossible. This leads to a chilling theory. What if this wasn't a cover-up, but a quarantine? Rumors persist of a final, desperate message from Sergeant Thorne, one that never made it into the official record. It was supposedly found on a torn piece of paper near the radio. Mimicking what? The sounds of the station? The voices of the crew? The last thing you hear before you disappear is your own voice, calling to you from the dark. But the story hasn't been forgotten. And as long as these unofficial accounts continue to circulate, the questions will always have a voice. Somewhere, deep beneath the Nevada sand, in the silent, concrete hallways of a forgotten tomb, a sudden loud burst of the original guttural signal mixed with a perfect mimic of the host's voice saying, "Let's look closer."